about the RSA in relation to another very difficult race, this one. What's your feeling on this?
Well, I'm not happy that Ballycassie fell in schooling.
Yeah.
Slightly puts me off.
I think we should start with that, really. Because what does everyone make about that fall? Because I personally couldn't back a horse that's fallen in a schooling session.
Well, I don't know, because I've seen at the race, I've seen a horse jump up and they're perfectly okay. We didn't see it. We don't know. If we'd seen the fall, we could make our own mind up.
Yeah, he was on at the races.
Oh, I've seen the
yeah.
He's keen going into the fence.
Yeah.
Ruby's trying to sort of set him on. You can see that he's not really on the right stride.
Yeah.
He's clipped the top and he sort of fell sidewards, slid on the ground.
But Willie Mullins just said, right, don't worry about that, get back on board, jump and have a fence.
As he's done this, he's got loads of... And it's not Willie's fault, but he's come back and he's bit his tongue, he's got blood all in his mouth. It's not an ideal preparation. I personally, even if he would have done that, I wouldn't be backing Ballycassie anyway.
I did fancy him strongly. I really did fancy him. But,
that's the beauty of seeing these clips.
I think Carlingford Lock could have beaten him at Leopardstown when he fell at the last. I think McCoy, I hadn't asked him the question, and I'd rather side with Carlingford Lock on the form that he's also beating. Sorry, he's already beaten Morning Assembly as well. So, and the prices, Carlingford Lock's the better price.
I would have to side with Morning Assembly here. Although all of the form is on soft ground. And there's a very interesting stat I got here. None of the last 50 winners had not had a race in the same calendar year. And that strictly applies to Morning Assembly. His last one was on the 29th of December.
His win against Don Cossack, I liked a lot.
Yeah.
He's in form, and I like the price of the horse, and I've actually tipped it up, and I do like Morning Assembly myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Quite keen.
We're going to discuss this far more after a short break. We're going to go over to Bobby, see if there's any more jumper doubles. See if I'm being ridiculed for not saying that Faheen's got no chance. Got about a minute, Bobby.
I think we can talk for a minute there, Pete. Thank you. Yeah, one per street in. Stephen, hello, Stephen. You have entered the jumper double, and you've gone for Arvika, Legionnaire, and Del Arca. They're your jumper doubles for tomorrow. While we're talking about the RSA, something I want to put to the panel as well, and something they may be interested in, and that is when I was reading yesterday's Racing Post, there was an interview in there with Alan King. Alan was asked what his best hope was for the festival. He said, Smad Place in the RSA. What do you think's that, panel? I'll pass you back to Pete.
Well, it could be the battle of the grades, but if it's his best chance, he's had a winner today already, so...
I just think the horse lacks the Grade 1 quality, personally. He's run 7 times in Grade 1 company and has failed on every occasion. I just think he's not in that top bracket, personally.
Lovely horse, though.
He did finish third in the World Hurdle.
And at 8-9 to 1, there's a bit of appeal there.
This is a very competitive, very, very competitive race at all. But you'd be against Ballycassie.
I'd be against Ballycassie. I just could not have him, especially after the fall. I think Carlingford Lock would have beaten him, as I said, when McCoy asked the question.
Sandy, obviously Jason Maguire had a terrible fall on Monday and is not going to be riding Collingwood, and Richard Johnson takes the ride. What's your view on that?
Yeah, he's a very able replacement, Richard Johnson, and I imagine Donald McCain's delighted that he's been able to book Richard Johnson. Collingwood is tricky. He's got form that ties in with a few here. The lines through Indian Castle with Many Clouds, who I said was a Donald McCain horse the other day, which I will apologise for because obviously he's with Oliver Sherwood.
Well, I also apologise as well that I said Howard Can Fly was 11. In fact, the horse is 10.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes. But
live TV, you can make mistakes,
absolutely.
And I apologise for mine there, as it got pointed out on YouTube, so there you go. We'll start with the top horse, Anacotti. Hannah Bishop, who is on Twitter, she doesn't seem to like it when I talk about Anacotti because I tend to talk about him in quite a negative light. I don't really, because I think he's a fantastic horse. He's done fantastic for Connections this year. I just feel like this is going to be a race one too many for him. He's run, I think it's 7 or 8 times this year, and I think that's a bit too much. I've got to talk about O'Fallion's Boy because Rebecca Curtis must be delighted that she's that she's booked Barry Geraghty for the ride.
That's my each way tip.
Yeah, his last win at Ascot, I thought it was quite decent the way he went about it, and Rebecca Curtis has quoted saying he's come out of the race really well, and I can see him running quite a fair race.
Do you not think that Ascot run, that Many Clouds and Jeffrey Chambertin were at it with each other? Do you not think that can play down the form slightly?
Yeah, I'd actually love Jeffrey Chamberlain to win a big race because he was travelling so well last time. He just seemed to stop very quickly.
But again, it could be the ground. I mean, I mean, Jeffrey Chamberlain was a disappointment that day, but before that, it shown.
It's a big day for Pipe tomorrow. Yeah. He's got some really big runners, and he's already proven to David that he's had a winner. So I really want Jeffrey Chamberlain to run well because he's got a piece of form with a horse called Utopia des Boards, who I'm really keen for the Pertemps. And if he was to run well, it'd make me a little bit more confident for that one.